Hey, what up everybody, I'm Cynical, and this is Dark Souls Remastered on PS4. And I'm in a hard spot here because it's hard to remember what I've been doing in this game. It's really weird because I just recorded the part 2, and then I played part 3, and now I'm trying to record part 3. So I kinda forget what I've done in each of the two videos. I know it's kinda weird, but now I'm like trying to record part 3. But anyway, here's part 3. I'm going to try to remember what we did last time in part 2, even though I just played part 3. But let's listen to Siegmeyer here.
No matter how long I wait. And oh, if I waited. So here I sit, in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
So if you head over here to Sen's Fortress, you come upon this NPC named Siegmeyer. Sitting dejected, trying to get through the gate. He can't get through there, it won't open. How do you get through there? You gotta ring the 2 bells. So he's just waiting for us to ring the 2 bells, basically. But for his quest line, I think you need to talk to him there, but I may be wrong. You might just have to talk to him in Sen's Fortress. But anyway, what we did in part 2 was we fought the Taurus demon, we got the Drake sword, we what else? I showed you the little soul farming thing you can do. The power level. You can power level for like 5 to 10 levels. It's not anything amazing, but it's pretty good for really early on in the game. You can get like 5 to 10 levels, so pretty nice. Oh, I got interrupted there, but anyway, last time we fought the Taurus demon. He kicked our butt a couple times, and I showed you how to get the Drake sword. It's a really powerful early weapon, and I showed you how to power level, soul farm early in the game for 5 to 10 early levels. Let's talk to Andre, the first blacksmith. Actually, I'm just checking out what he's got going on here. We got the Black Knight Greatsword. That's pretty awesome. We also fought a Black Knight last time. Another one, the second one in the game. So did quite a lot last time. Died for the first time, and then died a couple more times. So that's totally off our no more pressure on that. So you got to look at it, you know, optimistically. Got a gesture here, hurrah! Just seeing what he's got to offer. Gonna talk to him. A lot of NPC talking in this first playthrough, just to get it recorded, what they say and everything. I mean, most of you probably know what they say, and I've seen it a million times before, but it's the first playthrough on my channel, you know, trying to get all the dialogues if I can. Read some of the descriptions.
Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed, but every hunk of metal has its breaking point. If you notice durability running low,
He really doesn't say much here. He's just telling you how to repair and all that, upgrade. No lore, really.
they never betray you, so pay them a little respect, eh? There are 2 types of weapon fortune. There's reinforcement and there's ascension.
Dog's making crazy noises in the background. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to get power through it though.
Hell, you could even do it yourself with a smith box. But ascension's a finer art. It alters a weapon's properties. Ascension is the territory of we blacksmiths. A smith box just won't do.
Got a little ankle biter for Christmas. He's out there growling and barking like he's big stuff.
As you've noticed, this land is flush with the mad and wicked. You won't make it through the night without employing my services.
I know this is super exciting, but it's for the first playthrough on the channel. We gotta do this kind of thing, in my opinion. get all the dialogues,
Forging armor is
even if they're
really
about upgrading armor.
whether you forge weapons or armor first, well, that's up to you. But nobody wants to see you go hollow.
This is probably the noobiest dialogue in the game. Most people know how to upgrade weapons and repair, and that you can get a box for the bonfire to do it yourself. Then the only thing you can't do is ascend by yourself. It's basically always telling you that you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your armor, you can do it yourself at the bonfire, you should keep your weapons repaired, and the only thing you can't do at the bonfire is ascension. That's pretty much all he says there. So let's go open the shortcut. That's the first thing we need to do here. It's probably the best thing we can do at this very moment. Get rid of this guy. Kill his buddy that always comes over to help him out. Look at this Drake sword. It's just one-shotting. That's why it's so awesome. Boom. 295 on that backstab. It blasts you up to Sin's Fortress usually. Usually up to Sin's Fortress. You might be able to take it into Anor Londo, but I think you'll start having trouble there with it because it doesn't scale. So no matter how many stats you add, it still does the same damage. And you would literally have to go out of your way to get dragon scales to upgrade it. And maybe if you upgraded it to +5, you could take it through Anor Londo, but that's about it. And that's a lot of work just to get through one more area with this weapon when you can pick up something else. This guy can flatten you in like one hit, so watch out. But as long as you just bait an attack and run in and hit him, and then bait an attack, dive away like your life depends on it, even if he's not going to hit you. Look at this. Ooh, he thought he was slick trying to heal. You should have boxed up first, boy, before you took that med kit. You can't just do it out in the open, you're gonna get a headshot. Alright, there's another kind of mini boss up here, the channeler. The worst thing about him is not just his magic that he will throw at you, but he will also buff every enemy around him to like triple strength, you know? I don't know the exact numbers, I'm not gonna claim that it's exactly triple strength, but it's something like that, like where when they used to have to hit you 4 times, they could hit you once or twice and you're dead. And there's a part in the game where there's one of those and they're next to a boss. So if you don't take them down before you try the boss is extra powerful. It's a buff that he does. Area effect buff. So you gotta watch out for that. Soul of a long-lost firekeeper. Each firekeeper is a corporeal manifestation of her bonfire and a draw for the humanity which is offered to her. Her soul is gnawed by infinite humanity and can boost the power of precious Estus flasks. It can be used to gain humanity and restore HP at the cost of something or other. Cost of losing the firekeeper's soul to reinforce the Estus flask. So the dumbest thing you can do in this game is to use that as a healing item. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take it to a firekeeper, upgrade your Estus flask. That gives you more powerful Estus flask for the rest of the game, instead of just one heal by eating the freaking... That's like an idiot who would eat like $100 bill or something. Right there you can jump off and there's a little secret area right there, but we'll go over that later. I just want to get the shortcut completely open. We got Petrus down here. I don't think he says anything new.
Hello, I will teach you. I'm afraid that may be difficult.
This guy initially seems really boring, but he is not really boring. A couple of his compatriots will come, and there's a whole storyline involving him being a traitor and everything. So if you get the whole thing, it's actually pretty interesting.
You ever think to forge your weapons? You better find a smith box soon, unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments.
So everybody in this point of the game is telling you how that you should upgrade your weapons.
That silly sorcerer's apprentice, Ender. You know, the one always prattling on about Master Logan. He left for the Undead Burg, but never came back. Serves him right. If even old Big Hat can't make it out there, what chance does he have? I hope he enjoys his new life as a hollow.
I think his name is Venheim.
What now? I'm not up.
Like I said, I haven't played this game in 4 or 5 years. And I'm not speaking about Remastered, I'm just Dark Souls in general. I know Remastered wasn't out 5 years ago. Here's the Firekeeper of the Firelink Shrine. She cannot speak. They cut her tongue out, but you can give her the Firekeeper soul, and you get a +1 Estus Flask. Now the Estus Flask will heal for more. For every chug you take. For the rest of the game. And you're gonna be getting more HP and needing a bigger heal, so that's just don't use the Firekeeper soul. Don't use it. If you use it on yourself, that's the dumbest thing you can do in this game, pretty much. I don't even know why they let you do that. That'd be like if you could eat a bonfire ascetic in Dark Souls 2 or something. But I'm just going down here. This is in the very beginning of the game. Like, you can come down here and grind out some levels as well. This is a really easy spot where the enemies don't even pay attention to you. So if you can one-shot them, you can kill them before they even turn around. But this is a decent spot if you're a really new player. As long as you're careful coming down here not to fall or anything. You can grind out some really early levels by killing enemies that don't even fight back.
This is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't cry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
Oh, he's Rickard of Vinheim, so I got the names wrong. My bad.
What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. No intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, there's not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what may be the best in it.
He doesn't have much to say either. He's kind of like Andre. The two blacksmiths early in the game are kind of boring in the beginning. But he will give you magic. If you're if you want to try to be a caster, like sorcery, he actually has a couple spells here that you could use to get through the very beginning of the game.
What is it? There's nothing.
So I think that's why he's here. Or if you want to like upgrade before you find Andre, maybe.
What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed. Undead. What's there really to know?
Kind of with Andre, he doesn't have much to say.
Smithing helps soothe my nerves.
I mean, he says a lot.
Wither away our rivals.
He says a lot without saying a lot, you know what I mean? Like, he's basically saying he's a prisoner, but he doesn't want to get out. That's how bad this world is. But like I said, yeah, these guys here, they're so preoccupied with praying to whatever here that you can get very early in the game. I'd say like level 1 if you want to get 5 or so levels. If you want to, your little cousin or something wants to play Dark Souls and he's actually really trying, this is some good advice. Come down here, kill all these guys. They don't fight back. Get yourself 5 levels. Learn how to use the controls. Learn how to attack. Learn how to backstab. This is a really good, training ground for attacking, backstabbing, and a good place to grind up like your first 5 levels or whatever. You would just have to go up and down the elevator, I guess, or use homeward bones or something. But I've offered that advice to a younger player before that was having trouble. Use our master key to get this large soul. I thought about going and checking out Blighttown and the Valley of Drakes, but nah, let's do that later. I've got other things in mind at the moment. Should have used the homeward bone as soon as I decided to go back, but didn't think of it until I was halfway there. But still helps. Still saved a little bit of time with just a loading screen instead of a whole elevator ride. So that's what's down there. You don't want to go that way.
You see that terribly morose lass, the firekeeper. She's stuck keeping that bonfire lit. Sad, really. She's mute and bound to this forsaken place. They probably cut her tongue out back in her home, so that she'd never say any god's name in vain. How do these martyrs keep chugging along? I'd peter out in an instant.
This guy will say different things as you go in the game, so you got to come back and talk to him like every time you do anything. If you want to get all of his dialogues, you saw the firekeeper, now go back and talk to him. You went through Undead Burg, now go back and talk to him. You talked to a different NPC, now come back and talk to him, you know? You ring the bell, go talk to him. That's if you want to see all of his dialogues. It's definitely not mandatory to talk to that guy at all. The Crestfallen, Mr. Crestfallen. But here's the little secret area you can... There's a item over there you can get. It's kind of a difficult jump, but if you just get on the edge and then roll forward. And it has to be a light roll. You can't be a big old fat slob trying to tumble off the hill. You gotta have a light roll. Take off all your clothes, get on the edge, and just roll. And that's how you get that. There's really not much to do at this point, but you could go back to the asylum and fight the stray demon. And I forget what you get for doing that. You get the iron ring, and man, I can't remember. There's like some black knights there you can fight and get some good upgrade materials. I forget what you get exactly for beating the boss though. It's something decent though. It's like worth doing. But right now is not the time. You'll get smashed. That boss is pretty hard. I would at least beat the gargoyles and maybe the Capra demon first. But yeah, the Crestfallen guy, warrior, he'll say something new every time you see a new area, you see a new NPC, you do something new. Like almost anytime you do something new, he'll say something else. Like we met the blacksmith, then he talked about forging your weapons. We saw the firekeeper, he talked about that morose lass. We went through Undead Burg, he talked about you know, something else. So we're just gonna do Undead Parish this time, pretty much. The gargoyle boss. I tried to sneak up on these boulder knights. They're pretty hard early in the game. They can parry, so watch out for that. Don't just go swinging R1s at them like a crazy madman, because they will parry, and you can tell because they'll put up their shield and they'll take a different stance. So you can usually tell when they're gonna do it, but sometimes they'll switch really fast in between R1s and they'll get you. And these guys drop a pretty cool sword called the Baldur's Side Sword. It's you know, it's a little bit overrated, but it's still a pretty cool weapon. It would be kind of a cool one to use. I've never used that for a whole playthrough. It would be really cliche though. A lot of fart sniffers use it. And I like it too, you know, but I'm not a fart sniffer, so I'm not going to use it for the first playthrough on my channel, the complete, you know, I'm not going to use that weapon. Of course, I'm saying that while I'm using a Drake sword, but I'm not using this the whole time. I'm just using it for now. Usually progression goes Drake sword, then there's a spear in Sin's Fortress that is a lightning spear, and you can use that for a little bit, like Anorlando, and that's it. And it's not the best thing ever, but it's a slight upgrade. And we're not going to be naked the whole time either. I'll put on some clothes eventually. It's just early in the game, like Drake sword, naked. You know, that's what you do early in the game. I want to get Havel's ring, or like level up a little bit before I put on any armor and make myself super slow. Once we can get Havel's ring, which is a ring that gives you a lot of equipment load, you can carry more, you can wear more armor without slowing down. Once we get that ring, I will start wearing armor. Promise. I don't need to be a naked Tarzan He-Man guy the whole time. It's not what we're trying to do. And I'm just going back through stuff we probably already saw, but we kind of rushed straight through it to get to the blacksmith because it was like the end of the video last time. So I wanted to make sure I got everything right here, even though I was pretty sure. I was like 90% sure I already had everything. But just since we rushed through it pretty quickly last time to get to the blacksmith because it was the end of the video, we did open that gate, get that item, so we did miss that one thing there, the halberd and the gate. So I don't feel like it was a waste of time. So we've opened the shortcut so far. Met Andre the blacksmith. And those are very important things. Went down, talked to Rickard of Vinheim. Gave the Firekeeper soul to the Firekeeper and got a +1 Estus Blast. That's pretty good. That's the two-handed R2 move for the Drake sword. It shoots out magic. Can hit all these enemies if you get them lined up right. So that's what I was trying to do. Be careful right here. Even though these guys are the lowest level, easiest guys to kill, if you get 3 or 4 of them on you flailing away, you know, they can kill you. As you saw in my first video, I think? No, my second video, where a really low level hollow killed me while I was on a corpse run trying to rush around. He flailed around at me and he caught me with it. But here's where the channeler was. Remember, he can do that area effect buff, and there's a ton of guys up here. So if he does it, it's like a dance. You'll know it when you see it. It's like a dance he does. So you'll hear him do it, or you'll see him do it, and then they'll have like a special effect on them where you can tell that they have it. So there's a bunch of tells that they have this buff. Just watch out. Get some more hard souls that we can save for later instead of risking in our counter. Those are always good, because they stay in your inventory even when you die. Those are called hard souls, and the soft souls are the ones in your counter. Another Balder Knight up here, don't let them sneak up on you. And like I was saying, these guys are pretty hard early in the game. They're almost as hard as Black Knights early in the game. Just because they can parry, that's like the whole, and they hop around. They're not just going to stand there and let you kill them. They'll gang up on you. The worst part's the parry, but they're not going to die in one hit. They're not just going to let you float around and backstab them. But here we have Lautrec.
Still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse. Please, I have duties to fulfill, and I will reward you handsomely. Well, I am certain you stand to benefit. Please, I have duty. Well,
So spoiler alert, turn it off if you don't want to hear the spoiler. There's going to be spoilers in this. This game's old, so I don't feel bad at all. Spoiler alert, this guy is a bad guy. Everybody knows this, I know, but I'm trying to kill him with the Greatsword through the gate. You used to be able to do this, I swear. But let's open it. We're going to fight this guy. So we're going to fight Lautrec right now. It's easier if you just let him go to Firelink Shrine and then you kick him off the edge and then you reload your game, because he has an awesome ring.
I truly appreciate this, and I guarantee a reward. Only later. Yes, very sorry. Your reward will have to wait. I have just been freed. Allow me some time. I am free. Now, I can get back to work. I am free. Now.
Some people could say you can tell he's evil just by that laugh. Look at that parry. I'm surprised he didn't kill me with it. He just parried me. But yeah, the easier way to do this is to let him, just talk to him, act like you're freeing him, send him back to Firelink Shrine, and then as soon as you see him there, kick him off the edge, reload your game, and then there'll be a ring there that you can pick up. I want to fight him just for some excitement. And he's not easy. He's not easy. He can hit you through your shield with that weapon. Forget what it's called. I'm trying to think. I'm just bad on the spot. Like, I know what everything... Like, I'm... Wow, that was close. Woo! Did you see that? His weapon hit the wall. And then he tried to parry right there. He made a couple mistakes. I really do know all the names to all these things, and I know a ton about this game and the lore, and I beat it without dying and all that, but it's gonna look like I don't because I haven't played it in 5 years. So, but that weapon can hit you through your shield, so you can't just stand there and block, because it'll go right through you. Key to the dungeon, blah blah blah. Guess I'm not reading that one. Key to the iron bars on the west side of the second floor of the North Undead Asylum. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. But even if a hero found a key in Lordran to liberate this prison, would he have the means or the heart to ever come back? So that's the ring we picked up on that roof after we opened the shortcut. Opens the narrow passage leading below at the far face of the great bidge in the Undead Burg. The lower Undead Burg is a treacherous place. Do not turn your back on the wily thieves or the wild dogs who serve the Capra Demon. So that's how you get to the lower Undead Burg. Ring of Favor and Protection. A ring symbolizing the favor and protection of the goddess Fina, known in legend to possess fateful beauty. This ring boosts its wearer's HP, stamina, and max equipment load. Breaks if ever removed. So that'll also help us wear armor. And it's really good. It's the best ring in the game, pretty much. Arguably. Once you put it on, though, you can't take it off or it breaks. So the only bad part about it is it takes up a whole ring slot when you only have 2. And you can't take it off. So now you just have once you put it on, you only have one ring slot for the rest of the game. But it's so good that I would recommend putting it on and just leaving it on and just switching out the other one ring, and that's it. So this is the gargoyle boss. So we're going to fight Lautrec. Really cool fight. And now we're going to fight the third boss. And here's Solaire. So make sure you talk to him when he's gazing at the sun. Make sure you are human. You took a humanity and reversed your hollowing. And then you can summon him right here as long as you're human form. And this will keep the quest going. So if you want to keep his quest going, make sure you summon him here. It might not be like mandatory, but eventually these things are. Like if you miss 2 things in a row with this guy, his quest will be over. If you miss this, it could be over, but I don't want to like say things I don't know for sure. But if you don't summon him here, his quest could be over already. I don't think they're that tight on it, but if you miss the very next thing, then it's over. If you miss 2 out of 4 things, it's over. If you miss 2 out of 5 things, sometimes it can be over. The quest will be over just because you missed one little dialogue. Alright, time to face the boss fight where there's multiple bosses. Look at that lightning. Go Solaire. Look at that. He's crushing. Ooh, I got lit up. I gotta get out of there. Let Solaire take care of it. Ooh, we killed the first one. Nice job, Solaire. So yeah, I don't know the exact numbers here, but I think you have to let him do some sort of damage, and you can't die. You get the sunlight medal and you keep the quest going for sure. Like somebody could say in the comments, no, it don't matter if he comes and fights with you, it don't matter if he lives. Just to make sure, you know. This faintly worn medal engraved with the symbol of the sun is the ultimate honor awarded to those who summon the warrior of sunlight and complete a goal. The symbol represents Lord Gwyn's firstborn, who lost his deity status and was expunged from the annals, but the old god of war still watches closely over his warriors. And you can turn those in and level up in that covenant. Twin Humanities. Rare tiny black sprite found on corpses. Very unusual twin humanity used to gain 2 humanity and restore a large amount of HP. This black sprite is called Humanity, but little is known. Didn't give myself very much time there. Just looking around. I can't remember if there's anything on this rooftop. I don't think so, because usually it's almost guaranteed that there's nothing in a boss arena, so there's really no reason to look around. Of course, there's a couple exceptions to that, like the Yorm boss fight in Dark Souls 3, but that's like a special circumstance with a special weapon. Bloodborne, I think there's one, like I don't know if it's Vicar Amelia or one of those boss fights. There's like something, if you go behind the altar, it's nothing good really. It's like a blood I don't know what they're called. I'm onto this game now, whatever. But here's our first bell. This is like one of the major goals of this game, especially the early first third of this game, the early first half of this game, or whatever you want to call it, first fourth, to ring this bell. But this is the easy one. One down, 2 to go. Now don't just use a bone here because there's an NPC down this ladder. I was gonna look around for a minute just to look at the scenery. Looks a little better on Remastered, I gotta be honest. You can see a little farther, see a little clearer. Everything looks slightly better. I didn't even look at like the reviews of this game. I just knew I wanted it so I could play the DLC on my PS4. I don't know if people think this sucks or is good or what. Remastered. So let me know in the comments what people think about Remastered. But look at this, guys. This used to be my old profile picture. All sin is his domain. Now do you get why he was my profile picture? Cynical. All sin is his domain. He's the dude that is the boss of sin in this game, pretty much. The pardoner. With the coolest gesture. Well, what is it? So I probably picked bad timing to change my profile picture, because this would have been really neat to see this while having the Oswald profile picture still. But a lot of people were asking to see what I look like, and I just wanted to change with all the weird things happening in the world right now. It's March 2020, there's a crazy virus going around in the world and everybody's freaking out, so just for reference, we ain't talking about it. But that's my profile picture right there. Except for the health bar and the soul counter. I might make that the I'll probably make that the thumbnail, which you guys already know. Which is weird. Me talking right now, I don't know what the thumbnail is, but you watching right now do know what it is. You know more than me right now. Isn't that weird? It's my video. But you know more than I do about my own video. At this moment. Not really, but you know what I mean.
What a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going to be suicide. What's wrong? Had a bit of a scare out there. No problem. Have a seat and get comfortable. We'll both be hollow before you know it.
So new dialogue here.
What are you going to do? I've already decided. I don't really care. I'm simply crestfallen.
So he never says his name, but right there, that's where everybody gets his name from.
Now, I'm not up for chat.
Pretty deep dialogue that you have to keep checking for. But that's where they call him crestfallen. And he just says it in a dialogue, if you keep checking and checking and checking every time you do something. I know what you can do, crestfallen. You gotta get naked and helicopter around, you know? You can't just sit there in that tight armor and be uncomfortable. Get naked and helicopter, then you'll feel better. So we just beat the third boss, right? So we had the Asylum Demon, the Taurus Demon, and now the Gargoyles. So 3 bosses down. Like 12 to go or something. Probably more than that. With the DLC for sure. I wonder who's next up. What boss is next after that? Probably the Moonlight Butterfly maybe we'll do. I don't know. We'll see. Which is really easy. You just summon an NPC and let the NPC do all the work. I say it's really easy, but I'll probably die on it somehow. Which is possible. It can hit you with the magic and wreck you. I know what I was doing here. Trying to get 20,000 souls to buy the key to another power level area. The forest. You can power level there unless they changed it and remastered. I don't know, they might have. I really need to get that silver serpent key before I try power leveling, because it doesn't look as impressive without that. And I think I usually do this stuff on like New Game Plus where I already have it. So I was surprised when I was only getting 555 per dragon breath earlier. Because with that ring on, you can get like over 600. 650 or whatever. This guy will kill you, so you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. He will kill you, and it's not with those projectiles. If you get close, he'll just turn you into the ground. He'll just literally turn you into the ground. So watch out. You could stand here and actually kill him like this if you want. Here's the cheesiest way in the world if you want to do it, but it takes a long time, so I'm not going to do it in this video. I will do it a little bit too much, that way you know that it's possible, and so I can bore you to death. But it's definitely possible. You just gotta stand right here. Exactly right here. You can't stand anywhere else. To where you can shoot over this rock, but he cannot. That's the goal. You could use different arrows to do a little more damage. I'm using the craftiest ones. And I don't even know if he would die all the way if I used every single one of my arrows right now. I think I'd just get it, maybe. But yeah, you could just do that. Kill him like that. If you want to take the time. I don't think he drops anything special, but he'd give you a lot of souls. Like 2,000 or something. But look at that. And that's not even like the one that I'm talking about. And I've leveled up a little bit, so I don't know. He seems a little bit nerfed or something. Because normally that would just wreck. But I did do a lot of, you know, extra leveling that I probably wouldn't have done in other playthroughs. At least 5 levels extra, with 2 or 3 of those going to my HP. But you can also just strafe around them, block, and get a hit in here and there with the Greatsword, and does some good damage. Yeah, that's not wrecking me as much as I wanted it to. Not that I wanted it to, but that I said it would. Maybe because I'm blocking when it happens. I'm not totally getting smashed. He has to go through my shield before he turns me into the ground. Maybe that's it, like the grab or something. One of his moves is like a one-shot, I promise. So watch out. 2,000. Demon Titanite. That's used for boss weapons, I think. That you aren't going to get for a while, because you got to meet a certain blacksmith. So an upgrade material we don't need for a long time, but a lot of souls, and you get them out of the way. So you might be going back and forth between either that bonfire in this area, Andre in this area, you know. Don't miss this. There's a little dip off to the right. There's a really, really cool shield down here and a bonfire. Best shield in the game, if the criteria for being the best shield in the game is the one that I use the most on most playthroughs. Because obviously, if you want to talk about meta, min-maxing and whatnot, like, maybe it's not the best in the game, but my criteria, the one I use the most in most playthroughs, I almost missed this crystal lizard. Twinkling Titanite, used to upgrade special weapons like the Black Knight weapons. But yeah, if you use the criteria of the one I try to get and use in most of my playthroughs because it's awesome. If that's the criteria for being the best shield, then this is the best shield in the game. And that's exactly what I'm going for right here. Looking around for this shield. It gives you stamina regeneration. And everybody hates losing stamina early in the game. Everybody hates running and just not, having to stop running, swinging, hitting something, and not being able to finish them off because you run out of stamina. Blocking, and you're like blocking for your life, and they're chipping down your stamina, and you run out. This shield really helps with that. And it makes the game less annoying. Not that I think it's annoying at all, but to some people, running out of stamina is probably annoying. Here's the armor set, leather armor. It's not a bad set. It actually looks decent too. It's not a good set either, but it's not a bad one. There's worse ones for sure. I'm making sure I can drop down here. I mean, I have to actually, but making sure I don't fall in a hole and die. I can't remember if I die in this one. Oh, yeah, I think I do, at least once. I was trying to accomplish something awesome though, so I don't care. And I've already died, so it don't matter. What are we gonna do? Count how many times I die? I don't know. Maybe. We could. But once you die once, it's like, you don't care. So... here's another Black Knight, so watch out. He kind of sneaks up on you around that corner. And this is the special Black Knight, because he has the Black Knight halberd. And people will actually rush to this guy, or they used to. I don't know if they do anymore. To do speed runs. Like, I don't know, it's a specific kind of speed run. It's not, you could watch any percent and this would never happen, but Black Knight halberd. People will rush to this guy to get the Black Knight halberd, and it's for some sort of speed run. It may not be true anymore, but years and years ago, people would add that knight into their speed run to try to get the Black Knight halberd, because if they got lucky and got it, it would make it that much faster. But it's like a 25% chance, so most of the time they wouldn't get it and they would have to reset. So people figured out a way around it, I think, to where they didn't have to risk that. And they didn't have to restart every time they got to that guy and didn't get it. But at one point in time, it was involved in one of the speed runs that you would fight that guy, hope for the Black Knight halberd, and if you didn't get it, you'd have to restart the whole run. But if you did get it, you had a chance at getting a world record, back in the day. Not sure if that's still true or not. Grass Crest Shield. Grass Crest Shield. Grass Crest Shield. Old medium metal shield of unknown origin, the Grass Crest is slightly imbued with magic with slightly speed stamina recovery. So it's awesome. It's awesome. You can put it on your back. You don't have to have it in your hand. And now we have stamina recovery, and the Ring of Favor protection, and the Greatsword. So just that quickly, we become OP. At least for early game. Early game OP right now. Grass Crest Shield, Greatsword, Ring of Favor and protection. That's early game OP. After 3 parts. As long as you know where stuff is, you can do that. Greatsword is at the Hellkite Drake. Gotta cut his tail off. Grass Crest Shield, I just showed you. Ring of Favor and protection, just kick Lautrec off the edge. And you can get all 3 of those things pretty easily. I was seeing how hard these guys were because I was gonna gather up the loot out here. There's the red Tearstone ring up there. There's another armor set. There's a sword. There's some stuff out here. But look how much See how much this weapon is gonna fall off? You can test it by fighting these guys. These guys are on par with late game enemies. Look how many hits it takes. So if you don't believe me that the Drake Sword falls off, just try using it against these guys. It may have something to do with it being a dragon weapon and using it against a dragon, but it's still a good proof that it's not gonna stay OP forever. Look how many times I have to hit this thing. That was at least 20 hits probably I had to do, at least, just to kill one normal enemy. It's not even a boss. You could farm those things for the dragon scales, I think, and then you can use those to upgrade this weapon, I think. So if you're really just super into this Drake Sword, because the R2, two-handed R2, or you just like the way it looks or whatever, I think you can farm them and they drop the item you need to upgrade the weapon. But it's pretty rare drop, and look how many hits it takes. Like, it would be really counterproductive. You would be doing that for way longer than it would take to beat the game. Probably. There's a bonfire down here if I didn't already say it. An elevator. But the thing we came down here for was the shield. And we happened to get a Black Knight halberd too. See, I could use that because I've never used that in a playthrough either, the Black Knight halberd. I mean, I think I have a long time ago. I used it because I did used to use it, but not like a whole playthrough. But I would feel like I don't want to use that either because the whole speedrun thing, like people do. A lot of people use that. I don't know what I'm gonna use, you know. I could cheese it out the whole time just to get this game beat. Because like I said, I'm gonna do more and more playthroughs of these games. This is not the only one that's gonna happen. If I have anything to say about it, you know. It might take 2 years before we get back around to it, but I plan on being here 2 years from now and doing a weird, crazy playthrough of this game, trying a no-death run or showing you my SL1 New Game Plus or whatever. I would have to really be practicing to do that though, because it's hard. But we'll do something good like that, like Black Knight halberd run. Let's dress up like a Black Knight, use the Black Knight halberd the whole time. We'll come straight to this. We'll come straight here. We'll get it. Maybe it'd have to be on a New Game Plus run too, so we could do it right away. I'm gonna do special runs of this game eventually, I promise you. Can't chain backstab this guy. But this is Havel the Rock. If you can manage to kill him, he has an awesome ring that'll let you wear any armor and still roll fairly light quickly. You gotta be super careful because he can definitely one-shot you for sure. For sure. I would wait till you have the Drake Sword to fight this guy. And the only reason, well, I'll explain it in a minute. Let's just watch this fight. I think it happens right here. I try to get cheeky and use the and he somehow hit me from that far away. Did you see that? Did you see that? There's no way. That had to be the very tip of his pole. That had to be the very tip of his pole. I don't think that was a bad death. I think that was cheap, and somehow he hit me with that. He was so far away. If you go back and pause that, I bet you, how can he hit me from that far away? That's crazy. It's because I was doing that two-handed attack, so I guess I kind of put my head under his weapon. But he was dead. I was trying to use the special attack to kill him. If I didn't do that and I just like rolled through and backstabbed, I would have had him. So, another death, but That was not skill-based death. That was like trying to do too much death. Trying to show off death. But he's not too far away. We just got a bonfire nearby. We got the grass crest shield. We can run, sprint for longer. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you get your souls before you get flattened like a pancake. And we'll play it more carefully this time. There's another way you can kill him, but it's always been like more trouble than it's worth for me. You can run up and down the stairs, and as long as you're naked and you fall off the top of the stairs, you don't take that much damage. But he is wearing so much armor that he is so heavy that if he also falls off the stairs from the very top, it does damage to him. And it's pretty safe. Like, you don't have to get near him for it to work. Look, I don't know why he's just standing here right now. Like, I was too scared to finish him off like that, but he's just standing there. Then all of a sudden, it's like slapping a person that, you know, to make them come back to reality. Like a hysterical woman. Not that you would ever do that, but, you know, like on TV. Havel is a hysterical woman. Put that in the chat. Put that in the comments. Slap Havel like a hysterical woman. I almost did it again right here. I don't know why I really wanted to do that for some reason. Risking my life just to do a special attack to finish him off. But there we go. He is really hard early in the game. You need to have the Greatsword in my opinion. Or else you're going to get frustrated. Unless you want to parry him. If you're like super good at parrying. This ring was named after Havel the Rock Lord Gwyn's old battlefield compatriot. Havel's men wore the ring to express faith in their leader and to carry a heavy load. Load. Carry the load. He said load. Did you hear that? He said load. So now we can wear armor and not roll like a weirdo. Not just fall over and, you know, go from our stomach to our back. That's a fat roll for you. Fat rolling in this game is basically you just fall over and then you like go from your stomach to your back very slowly. And we do not want that. So I'm trying on some armor. We got new. This ring gives you like way better carrying capacity. So you can keep your lighter roll with armor on. So you can actually wear something and still roll. So I'm gonna use that that leather armor we just got. I think it's the one we just got. Actually, this might be our armor, our original armor from the beginning of the game. Actually, I think it looks better than the one we just picked up. So not naked anymore. That's the main thing we accomplished in this part 3. No longer naked. Maybe I'll make that the title. Dark Souls Remastered Part 3. No longer naked. Now I'll probably make it something like you know, the gargoyle boss fight. But anyway, that's part 3. Made a lot of progress. Showed you how to get the grass crest shield and many other things. So please like, share, subscribe. And if you listen to this whole thing and watch this whole thing, you are my favorite. I just gotta say. So like, share, subscribe, consider joining, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.